Have you ever wondered what really happened in the celestial rebellion? What led the most powerful angels to defy the Creator? The idea of divine beings turning against God and being expelled from heaven is as fascinating as it is frightening. But there is something that many do not know. These fallen angels play a crucial role in understanding good and evil according to the Scriptures. Today, we will delve into one of the most enigmatic and disturbing stories in the Bible, the four fallen angels and their influence on humanity. Prepare yourself to uncover the dark secrets these beings carry. When we think of fallen angels, the name Lucifer immediately arises as a symbol of pride and rebellion. However, he was not alone. The Bible and other apocryphal texts reveal the existence of other angels who also fell from their celestial position. These beings, created to glorify God, chose disobedience and were banished to the darkness. Their actions triggered catastrophic events that echo to this day, shaping the spiritual and moral destiny of humanity. Let's explore who these angels are, their stories, and how their actions continue to impact the spiritual world. Before we proceed, if you are fascinated by biblical mysteries and spiritual stories that reveal hidden truths, subscribe to our channel now and activate the notification bell. This way, you won't miss any of our videos filled with knowledge and reflection. Now, let's dive into this journey. Among the four fallen angels mentioned in biblical tradition and apocryphal texts, Lucifer is the most well-known. His name means light bringer, and he was created as the most beautiful and powerful of the angels. He was the leader among the cherubim, designated to be close to God's throne. However, his heart was taken over by pride. He desired to be equal to the Creator, declaring, "I will ascend to heaven. Above the stars of God, I will set my throne. I will be like the Most High." This arrogance led him to lead a rebellion, dragging with him a legion of angels. The Bible describes the celestial confrontation as an epic battle. Michael, the archangel, led the celestial host against Lucifer and his followers. The result was devastating for the rebels, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. Since then, Lucifer, now known as Satan, has become the adversary of God, dedicated to deceiving and corrupting humanity. But Lucifer is not the only one. The Book of Enoch, an apocryphal text respected by many scholars, presents us with other fallen angels and their acts of rebellion. Among them stands Samyaza, leader of the Watchers, a group of angels sent to observe humanity. Initially, their mission was to guide and protect, but the beauty of human women awakened forbidden desires within them. Samyaza, fearing he would be the only one guilty, proposed a pact to the other angels. "Let us all swear an oath and bind ourselves by mutual imprecation not to abandon this plan, but to carry it out." And so 200 angels descended to Mount Hermon, initiating an era of corruption. These watchers took human wives, disobeying divine laws. Their children, the Nephilim, were giants who spread chaos and destruction across the earth. Additionally, the angels revealed celestial secrets to humanity, such as astrology, the use of plants, and the manufacture of weapons. This knowledge, which was meant to be used for good, was perverted, resulting in violence and idolatry. God, seeing the evil that had spread, decided to purify the world with the flood, preserving only Noah and his family. Another fallen angel who played a crucial role was Azazel. He stood out among the Watchers, teaching men how to craft swords, shields, and armor. He also instructed women in the arts of seduction, introducing vanity and lust. The Book of Enoch recounts that Azazel was held responsible for much of the evil that plagued the earth. By God's command, he was bound in the desert, where he would remain until the day of the final judgment. Finally, we have Beelzebul, known as the Lord of the Flies. In the New Testament, he is identified as the Prince of Demons, associated with idolatry and spiritual corruption. The Pharisees accused Jesus of casting out demons by the power of Beelzebul, but Jesus refuted them, declaring that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Beelzebul represents spiritual contamination, and his influence continues to be feared. These four fallen angels not only symbolize rebellion against God, but also illustrate how their actions shape the spiritual world and human life. Each of them left a dark legacy that continues to influence religious and spiritual narratives to this day. Samyaza and the Watchers, for example, introduced an era of forbidden knowledge and uncontrolled desires. By revealing celestial secrets, they diverted humanity from the original purpose for which they were created. The impact of their actions was so catastrophic that God sent the flood to purify the earth. But even after the destruction of the Nephilim, the consequences of their actions persisted. Some traditions believe that the spirits of the Nephilim became demons, haunting humanity and promoting spiritual chaos. Azazel, in turn, is often associated with violence and moral corruption. He taught humanity the use of metals and the crafting of weapons, skills that could be used for progress but were transformed into tools of destruction. He also introduced vanity, leading people away from humility and obedience to God. In the Book of Enoch, Azazel is described as a central figure in the corruption of the earth, being directly responsible for much of the evil that spread. The ritual described in the Book of Leviticus, in which a goat is sent into the wilderness to atone for the people's sins, also carries a symbolic connection with Azazel. Some scholars interpret that this ritual not only symbolizes the separation between the sacred and the profane, but also represents the judgment of Azazel and his connection to human sins. This connection reinforces the idea that he is a figure who bears the weight of sin and rebellion. Beelzebul, on the other hand, is a figure that personifies spiritual corruption and idolatry. His name, meaning Lord of the Flies, evokes an image of decay and death. In the New Testament, he is associated with demonic power and direct opposition to the kingdom of God. His presence is a reminder that fallen angels not only sought to rebel against God, but also continue to try to lead humanity away from the path of salvation. Lucifer, as the most well-known of the fallen angels, represents pride in its most destructive form. His fall is a powerful warning about the consequences of placing oneself above God. He not only led a rebellion in heaven, but also became the eternal adversary, seeking to corrupt the divine creation. The story of Lucifer is often used to warn about the dangers of pride and unchecked ambition, reminding us that true greatness lies in obedience and humility before God. But what does all this mean for us today? These accounts are not just stories from a distant past. They serve as profound reflections on the nature of good and evil, obedience and rebellion. The fallen angels represent choices that every human being faces: to follow the path of light and obedience to God, or to succumb to pride, vanity, and corruption. The spiritual battle between good and evil continues, and understanding the stories of these angels helps us recognize the dangers we face daily. The scriptures teach us that God is sovereign and that in the end, good will triumph over evil. However, it is up to each of us to decide which side we will be on in this struggle. If you found this content fascinating and wish to continue exploring the spiritual mysteries revealed by the Bible, subscribe to our channel right now. Activate the notification bell to receive updates on new videos, and share this content with friends who also want to understand more about the spiritual world. May God bless you and guide you in all your ways.